There's this beautiful quote I came across a few years back that changed everything for me and helped me out so much. And I want to share this with you guys and share some shifts around how you perceive other people, how you perceive yourself, so that you can show up from a place of love and kindness all the time. Welcome back to another video. My name is Kara Michelle and I'm here to help you live your truth. And part of that is coming back to your true nature and the divine core being of who you are, which is just love and loving kindness. So this quote I came across, actually a family friend told me about it when I was still like very freshly grieving the loss of my brother. So I was probably like 18 or 19 at the time. And she shared this quote, be kind for everyone you know and she shared this quote and it was, be kind for everyone you meet is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. And in that time, it really struck me because I realized when I'm going out on the street or socializing or at a restaurant or something, people only see one portion of me. They only see what I'm portraying at that time. Just like you watching this YouTube video right now, you only see one aspect and one portion of who I am. You're not seeing every single tiny little experience or belief or memory or facet of who I am and passion that I have. You're just seeing what I am portraying to you in this video and how it's connecting to your own mindset, beliefs, and experiences to tell yourself a story about who you think I am, right? So when we meet other people, it's really easy, I think, for us to we feel like we know everything about them when in fact we really don't. And this whole loving kindness thing and spreading good vibes is really the understanding that we are all deserving and there's so much more going on under the surface. So even when someone treats you rudely or says something that's mean or we do not need to act out of anger and hate. We can still be kind and loving. And so there are a lot of different ways to kind of do this and shift your own perspective and your own response when these things are happening. And one of those would be what I just said. So like perspective around their experience and around the fact that, okay, if someone is saying something really mean or being hurtful or rude or lashing out, they must be hurting. They must have something going on in their life that is unresolved, that they're upset about or struggling with, and it's causing them to react in the way that they are. So if you can find some perspective to know that it's not actually about you, it's everything to do with them and what they're carrying and what they're working through, then this will help you to let go some of that taking it personally, that kind of feeling, and understanding that, whatever's going on for them, there's something more that's causing them to act this way. This also allows you to then be more kind and be loving. Because if you understand that this person is most likely carrying something and they're hiding it beneath the surface, no, you might not like run up to everyone who's mean and ask them to talk to you, but you're gonna realize that like people are fighting this battle you know nothing about, and the more kind and supportive you can be for them at this time, the better. And isn't it Robin Williams who had that really great quote years back just about how often the people who are happiest on the outside are really sad on the inside. And I know that's not actually the direct quote, but something to do with that, and how just because you see that someone looks okay externally doesn't mean that they're not in need of some support or a shoulder to lean on or a person to talk to. So when you're living from a place of kindness for everyone, I think you open that space for people to be themselves and to share and express what's going on for them. And it's such a beautiful thing that you do. And one thing that I love about my job as a coach and working with so many amazing people, and also just networking and connecting with all of you guys who are on YouTube, everyone who's following on Instagram or Facebook, being able to interact with you guys and hold space and be someone who can listen without judgment and hear what's going on for you and provide some support and some safety. And I just think if all of us could be a little bit more like that and just bringing kindness to the table no matter what, then things would become so much better. So the other thing that helps then is to be open. I don't know if that's barely on the screen. To be open and to have that place of non-judgment. And when I heard this quote years back, right, and at that time I obviously really internalized it, and I was still looking at it kind of in a selfish way of how, you know, I'm fighting this battle that a lot of people know nothing about, because the grief that I'm working through is not something that other people can really comprehend unless they've been there in the similar situation. It's not something that people really saw on the outside. If I was at a coffee shop, people wouldn't look at me and know, oh, she must be grieving her brother and have a lot of heavy pain, right? We don't see that. We don't know about that part of them. So I really took it on selfishly about how nobody understood me. But as I continued to evolve and grow and go through my grief and everything, I really started to see that on a broader scale for everyone, and how, you know, no one that I come in anytime I come in contact with someone, I'm only seeing one small part of who they are and what they're going through. And so even the other day, I was texting with a friend who's on the other side of the world, and I would realize, like, wow, I really have no idea what you're going through right now, what you might be thinking about, what kind of stresses you might have in this coronavirus situation and everything happening. I just assume, because when I talk to you, you seem really happy and you seem really positive, I just assume that everything must be great. When in reality, there's probably so much going on in your life that I don't know about at this moment. And I think when we are kind and caring and we open that space for people and we show that there's no judgment and that we're here to support everyone, then it allows people to kind of open up themselves and share these things that are weighing down so heavily on them. And just the most beautiful thing comes from this place of feeling like you're seen and heard and you're connected to other people. And that all starts from kindness, and that all starts from having that open space for you. So I kind of want to challenge you to take this and consider this in your own life right now. Who out of your family and friends, who could you reach out to and just send a message, let them know you're here for them right now? You know, who has been going through a tough time that you know about, that you could send a message to and just let them know you're there for them, or that you've been thinking of them, or ask if there's any way you could help. How could you send some kind of kindness and love and create a nice little ripple effect here of helping people and creating this space for connection? Because when we're deep in the midst of some things and some stress and everything, most of us then go into this fight or flight mode. And you probably can relate to this too, where someone asks you how you're doing and you go, oh yeah, I'm fine. But like internally, you're like freaking out. There's so much going on. You're so stressed and overwhelmed, and it's just not where you want it to be. But we don't always say what's really happening, and we just say, yeah, I'm okay, or we don't want to create a burden on them by telling them what's going on, and we just continue to bottle up all these things, and they pile up on top of each other until we're like under this huge mountain of heaviness and stress, and we feel even more alone than ever because everyone still thinks we're okay. But it's partly because we've kept telling everyone that we're okay. So another takeaway, obviously, as I lean into this now, is just to not be afraid to ask for help and to reach out to people when you need some support. Don't be afraid to share what's going on and find someone who can listen to you and hear you out, and just make sure that you feel seen and heard, because we all need that from time to time. And the more you continue to tell people you're okay, the more you continue to pile things up, the more alone you really feel, because you feel like nobody understands you. And I know in some of my heaviest times, after the grief and then sexual assault and then trauma from my car accident, people would ask like, oh, how are you doing? And how do you feel today? And how was it driving? And I was so afraid to say how I was really feeling that I just said, yeah, it was okay. Or, oh, it got a little bit better, because I didn't like the attention being on me, and I didn't like people asking and then being concerned. I didn't want anyone to have any worry about me, so I would say that everything was fine. And I think that's what so many of us do. So please realize that that's not necessarily the healthiest thing for you to do, and that there are so many people and so many resources out there, different numbers you can call if you need someone to talk to and you need a support system. And then please just remember the value of kindness and the fact that everyone out there is fighting a battle that you know absolutely nothing about. You do not know what people are going through, what they're experiencing, thinking, or feeling right now. And the more positive, loving, and supportive you can be for them, the better. And the more positive, loving, and supportive you can be for yourself, the better as well. So just spread that kindness all around. It's the good stuff that we want to share around the world, right? So if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please feel free to share this message with other people and just help spread that awareness of the fact that, we are all in this together, even though a lot of times we feel like we're alone and we're not understood. And the power of kindness and compassion and support is so incredible. So the more we do it, the more we show up for ourselves that way and for others, the better the world is going to be. And now's the time to make those changes and create a major shift to something beautiful. So please comment down below if you found this helpful. And again, thumbs up, subscribe, comment, share, all the good stuff. And I'll see you on the next video.